Welcome into Point Blank. I am Josh Jordan, the editor of SportsMapHouston.com, and I am joined by Joel Blank, who co-hosts the Killer Bees on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. All right, Joel, the trade deadline came and went, and Deshaun Watson is still a Texan. Your stance the whole time was that Watson would not get traded, and congratulations, you were right. We heard from Nick Caserio on Wednesday about the trade deadline, and we really didn't get any more clarity. Now, the Texans received a lot of criticism for holding on to Watson, but in your opinion, did they make the right move by not trading Deshaun?
Absolutely they did, Josh, because the thing is there is no timetable on maximizing what you get back for Deshaun Watson because you have to maximize it. He's the only valuable asset that you truly have on this roster. And so if you would rush into a deal and you were only dealing with one team, this is something that we have had discussions on the videos we've done throughout this whole process. You need more than one team involved if possible to push the value up as high as it can go. No matter what, you're not taking pennies on the dollar because you have to get this rebuild started full-fledged the right direction by getting every single possible asset you can in return for him. And so if none of those things were going to come true or they were going to be minimized by the fact that you were only dealing with one team and you were up against a deadline, then why would you do the deal? And the other more important thing, too, is you need to know where the team you're trading with is drafting, what position they're in. Because for Jay Glazer to say, hey, the Texans already early on turned down 3 number 1s and 3 number 3s, it depends on who those 3s and 1s were coming from. Because as the Rockets showed us in the Harden deal, if you're going to take assets and draft picks from a team that's drafting at the end of the first round of the draft, then they really don't have the same value as teams drafting in the top 5, the top 10, where you know you're going to get more premier players and better return on your investment for the trade. So I think that the Texans did the absolute right move with Deshaun Watson by not trading him, and the ideal situation will be this offseason where hopefully a majority, if not all of the cases are put behind him, and they can just focus on who needs a quarterback, what are you willing to pay, put teams against each other to jack the price up, get those picks, get to camp, start fresh, and don't worry about ever having to deal with Deshaun Watson again.
Good point, Joel. And the Texans did make one trade before the deadline, but before we talk about that, give us a word from Fitz Roofing.
Yeah, we love Fitz Roofing because they're dedicated to the people of Houston, and they do it in so many ways. But the most important way that they do it is whether you need a roof repair or a full roof on your business or your house, or house repairs or a fence in your yard, they will take care of you with a free, no obligation inspection that costs you absolutely nothing. They come to you and they just tell you what they can do. All you got to do is call them 832-521-3001, and they're going to absolutely take care of you every step of the way. Best warranties, best products in the business, and of course the best ratings as well. It's Fitz Roofing, making a difference one home at a time.
All right, Joel, the Texans, like I mentioned, they did make a trade. They sent Charles Omenihu to the 49ers for a 6th-round pick in 2023, and they also moved Mark Ingram for a 7th-rounder. Based on these trades you've seen from Nick Caserio, what's your confidence level of him getting a good haul for Watson when the time is right?
It's diminishing by the day, Josh, and that's unfortunate because he's the one guy I've given the benefit of the doubt to say, hey, coming where he came from, working with who he's worked with, I would expect that he's going to figure this out. But he got picks that he so far has shown that he likes to just throw away by taking them and turning them into players that have existing injuries that get injured again that you end up cutting, or quarterbacks that never see the light of day even though you gave up picks to get them, and other things that he's done sloppily in terms of the trade market. He didn't handle the draft well with the fact that he didn't move. He actually moved up when he didn't have that many picks to give up to try and go through his first draft where he started in the 3rd round. Now he makes these moves, and he essentially is just clearing out more of the Bill O'Brien era and more of the guys that don't fit what he wants to do going forward. Didn't get much in return, so those are no big deal. But when you're dealing with Deshaun Watson, and as we just touched on, the most valuable asset you have on your roster, you cannot make mistakes. You cannot settle for less than the absolute ultimate value that you're supposed to get for him, and that's why it concerns me because, I mean, you're giving away guys that essentially you're getting picks that you don't know what they're going to have in terms of value, but it's basically the furthest of the furthest away that you could possibly get for the picks that you're getting in return. So you're essentially just saying it's a wash. I don't know that that's what you can do with all the other moves that he has in mind, but you can't do it with Deshaun Watson.
All right, Joel, quickly, we've heard rumors that ownership, would have preferred maybe to move Watson before the deadline. But we've also heard that Caserio seems to be sticking to his guns about what he'll take for Deshaun. Does it make you feel any better knowing that the Texans seem to be letting Caserio handle this thing?
I think they have to, Josh, because if you leave Cal McNair to handle it, he's already proven in the past that he either has absolutely no clue and will screw it up, or he's going to make a decision like that could set back the franchise more than it speeds up a rebuild. So I think that at least from a football perspective, Caserio comes from bloodlines of the Patriots. He comes from working with Bill Belichick, and he knows he's not going to make any knee-jerk decision that's going to absolutely screw the franchise. That's what Cal McNair could do. So I think that at least letting Nick Caserio handle it is the best course of action for the franchise. Just what Nick Caserio handles and what he gets in return is going to be so vital to how we judge this team going forward in terms of pressing the reset button and getting this team back in the right direction.